Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here at the outskirts of the internet. It's the Gaming Saloon reviews for October 26, 2025, which your host Peacemaker24H and Ramp Zips Lawn.
Hi.
So I guess this counts as the Halloween episode for TGSR, which I guess sports are scary.
I mean, they can be if you don't know how to play sports. Or make games based around sports.
Fair. Also, considering when this happened, I just realized, isn't this the World Cup where everyone went ham with the vuvuzelas and people were memeing about it?
Good question. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was this World Cup. Because for reference, folks, we're covering the Kamen Rider Gaim movie, which is called Kamen Rider Gaim Great Soccer Battle Golden Fruits Cup. Yes, that is the full length of the title.
For no reason other than to be that long, because Rider movie plus long title equals winning formula, question mark?
Sometimes I don't know. What is the proportion of length of title to how good the movie is?
Hence I feel the like question mark, because I don't think that always lines up.
There has to be a ratio here, like the magic ratio of like, if the title is this many words, then it has to be good.
I'm sure there is.
But yeah, this movie came out July 17th, 2014, i.e., hey, you remember that there was a World Cup going on in 2014? Guess why this movie's soccer themed?
Could be any reason at all.
And there's not just one, not just two, but three different professional soccer players cameoing in this movie for a decent amount of screen time, in considering all things.
Yeah.
And what is, I think, like an hour-long movie.
Yeah.
65 minutes. This is like an hour-long movie.
Because the other 5 is credits, so yeah.
It's a very long, elaborate credit sequence. Yeah, our writers are for this are Jin Haganya. Again, Urabuchi decided not to write this because they couldn't make him.
I mean, if you can't tell by the end of this, then I'm sorry.
And Sabu Kaneda is the director on this. How do we feel going into the soccer solo film?
The soccer stands on its own, doesn't matter to the rest of the show film.
Yeah.
Meh. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was probably one of the better Gaim movies that we got out of this.
I have seen worse Rider films, if I'm being honest. So I'm like,
this
is fine.
Worse Rider films, if we're honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the solo category. I'm like, I have seen worse solo Rider films than this. This was perfectly reasonable.
This didn't do anything bad in terms of misconstruing the characters or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I'm like, I'm fine with this.
Yeah. There is a question I have about characters, but that's good. That's at the back end of this movie.
If it's why does certain people remember certain things and most of the rest of them don't, then yeah, I can agree with you.
Yeah, but it's basically Kaito and Minato by the end of this movie. I'm just like, you're acting like your regular selves.
Except for you two that didn't remember any of this explicitly.
Well, one of them got bragged into this world in an episode of the show before this movie debuted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kaito went here first.
Yeah, I forgot about
and then
that.
he left and didn't remember. that's the first episode of the batch next week for if you're wondering, folks, because there is a tie-in episode.
Yeah. But it's still okay for me. It's more Michi's involvement, because it's like, why are you like the only person that seems to know that something's not right here? You,
Yeah.
Mister needs to be dead, are the only
Michi's
one.
like, yeah, I don't know why Michi remembers anything. He's just like, wait a minute, my brother isn't married, and I killed him, and he's alive. I feel like murdering somebody else. I'm gonna murder this child.
Yeah. I don't.
And then by the end, he's like, I guess I'm helping Coda because I don't feel like murdering him today.
Like, I feel like he's the only one, but I also understand why they had to do his character that way, because, yeah.
We can't have happy-go-lucky Michi after he murdered his brother. That'd be ridiculous. I guess anything else before we get into the recap?
No.
All right, kick off. Kota is blowing up some invests in a more destroyed part of Zoami City than other parts by himself, because nobody else can go with him to the world and he has to be alone.
And he kind of, is defeating some higher level invest in base form. Because apparently movie writers didn't understand where we were at right now.
I mean, it takes like almost this entire movie for Kachidoki to show up.
Yeah.
And then it's immediately swiped away by Kiwami, which doesn't show up until basically the last fight of the movie.
Well, I mean, yeah. It would be too hard, though, to have Dark Kachidoki and anyone be able to, stand in the same room as it.
Fair. Which is why we go to Dark Jimba.
Yeah, because at least that one can be countered by Kachidoki.
Yep. But
we're not going there.
Random kid shows up and is like, what's that? And then Kota explains the concept of soccer, because that is plot relevant. If you couldn't hear the air quotes, I did air quotes for that.
Also, we come to find out later or something, so just bear in mind that right now this child is speaking in Japanese. And let that sink in when we get to the important part about this kid.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this kid's name is Lapis. I'm not calling him by his overlord name because A, I don't remember it. B, it's in one line. There. Sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to call him Lapis because I'm not calling him his overlord name because A, I don't remember it. B, it's in one line of the movie. It's C, I do not remember how it's even pronounced. It's in two. Okay. I thought it was only in one line.
No,
okay.
It is literally said twice.
Okay. I don't remember how it's pronounced either.
I think once was actually by Lapis, and then the other was by the villain of the movie.
By Mars, basically. That is his writer name?
Yeah, but they never called him that, so...
They don't call him anything but the golden fruit, basically.
No, they did give him his... whatever they named him. I forgot what it was. Because there again, it only came up once.
Yeah.
We get names for the new characters once.
Shows you how much we care about them.
When a movie doesn't even care about the characters that it's introducing, then how should people watching it?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, our Lapis here decides, ooh, that sounds cool as a cool basis for a world. You're gonna come with me now. And then Kota gets warped to a stadium that is like barely a quarter filled at the goal ends of the stadium by Gaim and Team Baron fans because they're having a soccer game and Kota's late. Also, Mai is the coach of team. Yeah, Mai is the team of the coach of Team Gaim, and Kota's like, what? What do you mean we're having a soccer match? What? Kaito's also here as playing for Team Baron. Zach's also here playing for Team Baron. He's the goalie. Kota and Kaito are playing positions. I don't know soccer positions. They're playing positions in the game.
They're playing only positions.
Yep.
Because no one else really gets a big sign kind of deal.
Yep.
Even our professional soccer players that we have here.
That are in completely different uniforms than Team Gaim and Team Baron because they were probably contractually obligated to wear their own jerseys.
Probably.
I also love how Kota has to call them out by their full names.
Yep.
Just so people in the audience who are like, who the fuck are these? Kota's like, you professional soccer player person number 1 and you professional soccer player person number 2. Again, you can tell that the World Cup was on at the moment and it was really important for people. Like the theme song for this movie sounds like it is pulling from songs from South America because that is where the FIFA World Cup was at the time. I think it was specifically Brazil.
Probably.
Let me real quick because it's actually linked on there. Yep, Brazil. I was about to say, did Japan even do good? Out of curiosity?
That would be honestly par for the course.
Let's see. United States ended up 13th, maybe? No. Okay, that was rankings going in. Let's see. No, they lost in group stages. Japan lost in group stages, and United States made it out of groups, and lost in round 1. So there's your 2014 World Cup trivia.
For all 3 people that cared.
Yep. Yeah, Kota and Kaito are dueling it out. Kaito scores a goal using his rider form, and Kota's like, that's cheating, and Kaito's like, nope, no, it's not.
If you've got power, use it. Which is very in character for him.
Sir, we're operating on Airbud rules. The rulebook doesn't say anything about me using a belt to transform and to kick a ball real hard.
I mean, true.
God, I only bring up World Airbud because of YouTube I follow. Decided to bring up Airbud lore because why not? Anyway, Kota's like, all right, I'll use my belt too, and then proceeds to score 2 points, and hooray, they win. But Pekka is upset about it, and then a black grasshopper lands on him. That's important for later. We also see in the stands that Hase is with Jodochi and Orin, as they are Team Sharamont.
Because of course they
And
are.
then and then we have Takatora, Sid minus his hat, which looks so weird. I'm just like, Sid, where the fuck is your hat? You look naked without your hat. Put your hat back on. And Takatora has like the beautiful line for his character of like, Yggdrasil will rule the world through soccer.
Yep.
He says this straight, by the way.
Yep.
Because thankfully, Minato is here to break it up by just vibing in the background, just bouncing a ball.
To which Sid's even like, man, of course you're enjoying this.
I love that Minato is just vibing in the background, just having fun, because she's just enjoying this. I'm like, she's not going to get much later on in this series, so I'm glad that she's happy at the moment. Just vibing. But yeah, Koto realizes that things are fucked up. He runs into Lapis and he's just like, isn't this nice? People aren't fighting and people are happy. Isn't that cool? And then we cut to Michi, who Takatora's like, by the way, I'm gonna go visit my wife that's in a coma, I guess. I'll be back later. If you need anything, tell me. Which Michi's like,
I need you
You're not my
dead,
brother.
but
first of all, you are not married. Second of all, you would never ask me how my day has been legitimately and if I'm okay. Third of all, I murdered you. The fuck's going on? And then that's Michi done for like 90% of this movie. Until he shows back up at the end.
yeah.
Back to Team Baron at their place. Peko decides to go berserk and he transforms into Kurakage Shin, which is Kurakage with the Genesis driver and a different staff. That's it. That's your one of 3 exclusive riders for this movie.
That you
How
get
do
to
you
see
like-
twice, actually.
Yep. How do you like Kurakage Shin?
Meh.
Don't you love that it doesn't follow the aesthetic of the Genesis driver riders at all and
At
also
all.
does not have a sonic arrow?
And that it is definitely not show canonical.
I mean, it has to be. Koji uses his weapon before this movie. So it's in the Kiwami. That weapon's in the Kiwami lock seat somewhere.
Yeah, because Sagra. I get the feeling he put that in there just because. It's the
Yeah,
actual
granted.
lore kind of deal.
Granted, the new like CSM version of the Kiwami Lockseed now has the weapons from all of the future Gaim Gaiden stuff. So it has all of the weapons from the Gaim Gaidens that weren't in there before, including the weapons that are in this movie. So it has Lapis' staff and Mars's sword and shield. And then the other variant of that sword and shield. And then I think the other variant of that sword and shield. Look, that weapon got around a lot.
Yep.
To the point that even Bram uses the shield part for his new form in Gav.
Yes.
But yeah, Peko goes nuts for a bit, and then he gets covered in black vines, and then he goes poof, and then it's just his armor and his belt and his lock seat, and then the armor dissipates in the lock seat, and it goes click. Spoilers. That's going to be the next like 20 minutes of this movie, basically. Because we get the Sharamont as Hase is the one now going berserk and becomes Kurakage. It tries to fight Orin, and Orin like basically fights him barehanded in his rider form, and then the same thing happens to Hase. It sees us and is like, oh no, what's happening? And then Lapis is there for both instances, and that makes Kaito Akoto suspicious of Lapis. Oren's in like, I think an armor rider is behind this, and I call people to come help me find out what's going on. And then we cut to Yggdrasil as Sid gets manhandled by Takatora because he's like, I know you'll betray me, and dunks his ass off the top of an elevator. Poetic.
Yeah. And also
Hey,
the line that he gives Minato kind of is like, yep. Which makes
you wanna
me
be next?
which makes me wonder, does he remember some of it? Even though he never says it?
I think Mars's influences causes them to partially remember things, which is why they fight each other.
I could see that.
Because, by the way, the grasshoppers that are hopping on everybody that causes them to go berserk are Mars's, because the movie riders from Gaim are technically Four Horsemen themed. Technically. Because Bujin Gaim is famine, 15 is death, and then here with Mars, he is war. And also technically pestilence at the same time. I think technically the jam version of him is supposed to be pestilence. Because otherwise we don't really have a pestilence one. Well, I don't think Hex guy from Fruit Throttle counts.
Probably not.
Yeah. Anyway, Orin and Jinochi rally some private military folks. Takatora rallies some Kurgai troopers. And Kaizo just rides in solo on just a regular old dirt bike. Not even, one of the proper bikes he should have. Just a regular old dirt bike.
Well, he didn't have his regular bike in this one because of soccer.
I guess.
Even though everyone literally has every lock seed that they had up to this point in show.
Yeah.
Including Kaito having lemon energy and never using it.
Also, I think this recap skips over the scene where Kota's talking to Yuya about the golden fruit cup. They'll grant your wish, and Yuya's like, you're the closest person to it, Kota. And this is where Kota is supposed to spot that Yuya has a lock seed on him.
Except for they don't mention that part of it at all.
Until now. Because as this three-way fight breaks out between everybody, Kota tries to intervene, but is stopped by Yuya, who's like, give in to your desires, Kazuraba. Give in to the dark side.
And I have this because I need Invest to protect me.
As Mai shows up as well, as Mai goes, the fuck's an Invest? And the guy finally, the disguise finally drops, and this is Mars. He's some important actor in Japan, I believe, because they often do that for the evil writers in these movies. Especially if they're on the older side, they're usually some famous actor of some sort. But he turns out to be a artificial golden fruit that the overlords attempted to create. It went berserk, and as we'll find out later, Lapis sacrificed himself to seal that fruit. That's this artificial golden fruit. But because of shenanigans caused by Lapis, Sengoku ended up discovering the seal, broke it, and then got murked. Which is why he is sure not appearing. Which is why Sengoku is sure not appearing in this movie outside of a flashback. But yeah, he transforms to Mars. Kota fights him in regular orange arms. We see the other riders blow themselves up, supposedly. And when Kota and Mars get there, Kota uses all of the lock seeds to transform the different forms to try to fight Mars. Except, even though he picks up melon energy, he doesn't use it. He instead uses lemon energy. go to his regular default Jimba form.
Uh-huh.
The fuck movie? It is 2 panels. Literally 2 panels. You're telling me there was no budget to just do 2 panels? Just to give us this form. You have the concept art. I know, we know what it looks like. That concept art's existed for months by this point. It has existed in toy form for months as well. Like literal figure toy form as well. And you still refuse to do it in this movie. Damn you. -5 points.
Yeah, -5. It can make up for that, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, Koto eventually gets consumed by the vines and stuff, and instead of going poof, it turns him evil, as we see Michi and Mai find him later as Gaim Yaiba, i.e. it is Gaim with a black undersuit and monochrome lemon energy panels, and it's a standard Jimba form, except he's not using the Sonic Arrow. He's just using the Muso Saber.
And his fist.
Yep. And it only appears in this one fight scene. Yeah, this is where Lapis gives his backstory, and then as Michi's losing and getting the shit out of him in the background as well, which is hilarious.
And deserved.
I love how Mars is talking shit with Lapis, and you just see in the background Michi being like, ah, damn it, Kota, and just getting the shit kicked out of him. And I'm like, yay! This is when Minato and Kaito show up, because we find out that Minato saved Kaito from getting consumed. Hooray!
Somehow.
She knew what was happening for some reason and saved Kaito. Just because. We don't know why she just saved Kaito instead of Takatora. I guess she didn't want to save Takatora because he threatened her.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, the two of them are fighting Mars while Lapis uses his power to do a mind meld with Kota and be like, hey, Kota, stop holding back. Punch your evil self. And so he does, and he finally goes Kachadoki and starts beating up Mars for a bit. So we get an extended fight scene of Mars taking Kota to a rock quarry so the two of them can have a horseback fight for a while. And Kota beats him, and then Mars becomes a giant monster. And then Kota, Michi, Kaito, and Minato, I think, beat that, and then he becomes a goal. After, I think, Kota knocks everyone but Sengoku and Sid out of him so that they're on the field now, and they don't question anything when they're toss their lock seeds and go, help us fight the big fire guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, cool. And then according to the Rider Wiki, this is the largest amount of riders we have transforming on screen at the same time. Ever.
Ever? Really?
I honestly, yeah, because it's 10 people at the same time.
I thought we've had more than that.
Maybe implied, but I don't think in one screen in one area we've had 10 people. So I'm inclined to agree with them. Also, I'm assuming the entire point of Kurakage Shin is to balance out this roster, because it'd look weird if there was just one Kurakage, so they put 2 Kurakages so they would book in the roster. That's a dumb reason, I know, but it's the only one I could think of.
A dumb reason. Oh.
Yeah. Also, Lapis transforms with a lock seed. Sakura tosses him because he's like, Lapis, you're actually doing something. Cool. Here's a lock seed. Have fun. Don't ask anyone where he pulled the belt from. Because Sakura did not toss him the belt.
Nope.
Yeah, Lapis becomes Kamen Kamaro, which is basically a blue version of Mars, more or less. They're both Apple themed in their armors, which tells you how much that mattered. But yeah, Lapis decides to fight over everyone. He just turns into a soccer ball so that everyone can kick him around, and Kota could do a rider kick with him and blow up Mars. And hooray, the day is saved! And Kota goes back to the real world. And we find out that Lapis has been dead the whole time, because we see his staff and his amulet and a soccer ball in Helheim. And they're old. So, oh well, that's it. That's the movie, folks. So, how do you feel?
We've seen worse.
Yeah, like, this is fine. Like, it's nice that we get the fun bit of, hey, everybody got to team up who are technically the good writers of this series, since Sengoku and Sid are not here. I say technically because
at this point in the show,
I don't know. Michi, but Minato's kind of like floating in the middle there.
I think at this point they've done enough to at least marginally redeem her.
At least she's helping.
That's one of those I would be fine with classifying her as one of the good writers at the moment because of where we're at in the show, but yeah, I see your side of it too.
Yeah, like the only two people who would not try to backstab someone at this exact moment are not involved in this fight scene.
Yeah.
Which would be Sid and Sengoku, because both of them would be like, "Oh, golden fruit, mine. I'm gonna do something stupid and try to claim it for myself in the middle of this fight," whereas everyone else is go, "Nah, fuck it, kill him." we ain't dancing with this. Yeah, it's a fine movie. We've reviewed worse on this show. I've watched worse than this, to be honest, of stuff we haven't reviewed on this show. So I'm like, this was fine. Like, this was just an excuse to get a bunch of people together for one fight scene. It's unfortunately it wasn't a proper fight scene. It was everyone kicking around a soccer ball.
It was getting everyone together for a proper soccer scene.
Yeah. Otherwise I'm just like, oh yeah, Mars and Kamaro are here. They're fine. Honestly, I feel like they really wasted Apple as a theme for this entire series, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because neither of these guys are really memorable. And they're basically our de facto Apple writers. We'll get another Apple writer in the Baron v Cinema.
And the last episode of the show.
Oh yeah, that one too. I forget about them. Especially even though it is still one of these two people. Basically.
Yeah, but I mean... Yeah.
But also train by. Also, Kaito gets to use Apple armor for 5 seconds. So good on him. He got to use it. Yeah, I've got nothing else. So yeah, in 2 weeks, I almost said next week, in 2 weeks, we will continue the show with the episode that is supposed to take place before this movie, and then the 3 episodes after this movie. You will notice this movie doesn't matter. Just to say it now, the most consequence this movie has is that Kota has another spear he can summon, and it's from the least consequential person in this movie. But between now and then, Thursday, we'll try to get back to the cat stuff. We'll try to wrap up the O's Kemi, because that's basically like 90% done. I just have to get the head done. And I have a reference provided by one of the folks on the Soda Pop Discord, so maybe we will get that somewhere on Thursday. Friday, more Cubiverse with Spider-Man 2, the Raimi movie tie-in one. Saturday will be something?
A thing.
A thing. And then next Sunday will be TGS, where we get to talk about Halo. Even though neither of us have anything truly great to say about that Halo, we can talk about it again. Amongst other stuff that hopefully will come. Well, no, we get to talk about Microsoft and their demands of Xbox, because I don't know if, have I told you what their demands of Xbox are now?
I know I've seen about they really have kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Oh, this is about profit margins.
And have practically said that, you know, they're out of the console war.
Yeah, because exclusives are antiquated, right?
People be dumb.
Sarah Bond, unfortunately, has to say some head-ass stupid shit in interviews. And I almost feel bad for her for having to be the one to say these head-ass stupid shit in the interviews. But yeah, no, we get to talk about profit margins with Microsoft next week. Yay! Numbers! Everyone's favorite thing to talk about. But that'll be next week, and then in 2 weeks we will continue our run through of Gaim the series instead of Gaim this one movie. So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow, really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube and chat. It's the YouTube archive for this and all of our other streams. Every weekly co-op is now scheduled. They will all be out by halfway through next Thursday, or halfway through this Thursday, not next Thursday. Unfortunately, I have to schedule all the TGSs now, because that's the next thing on the list.
Oh boy.
Yep. So I have to do a lot of extra work. Yay. But it's fine.
Is that what you're telling yourself, or?
I mean, it's only like 500 some odd videos still, I think. I don't know. I haven't counted recently how many are left, and I don't think I want to. I'm scared to see what that number is. I know my estimate said that this whole process would take exactly almost a year in terms of scheduling in putting the videos out if I stayed completely consistent. And I have been doing it for I think about 6 months now. Actually, no, maybe less than that. But yeah, it is still a long road. But once it's done, I only have to schedule for Monday. Unless I want to change it and have them come out one a day. Which I think at that point I probably shouldn't, because people are probably used to them coming out all on Monday. Oh well.
maybe at some point pivot and start splitting them up a little bit?
Maybe. That just makes it harder for me because it's like, well, instead of being like, okay, all the Monday time slots are closed off, so I just schedule all day, all the slots for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It goes, okay, I have to remember to not schedule on the first time slot for 4 days and then schedule for the other 3 time slots. I'm gonna fuck that up.
Nah, you got that.
I have already accidentally scheduled things at the wrong time sometimes and put a pre-show on the wrong time slot of the show it's supposed to go with.
Whoops.
Sometimes the wrong day as well. So yeah, it has to stay on Monday because otherwise I'm going to get something mixed up and it's going to go in the wrong place. And I'm not going to notice until it's out the door. And I'm like, whoops, oh well, it's already out. Nothing I can do. I'm not going to go in and reprivate the video in order to reschedule it. But yeah, that's what the YouTube schedule looks like for the next couple weeks. I think it's going to take a couple weeks for TGS. But yeah, also exclamation point social and chat gives you the social media handles for so you know when we go live. Exclamation point listener chat is like drop by, say hi, and we'll see you Thursday, folks.